The PGA Tour heads to Cali for its second event of the year, following an exciting Sony Open last week where we saw Chris Gotterup get his third win on the PGA Tour. The 26-year-old is on fire. Let's break down the American Express, all things, storylines, trends, and even some picks at the end. So be sure to stick around for those. And go ahead and do me a favor, like and subscribe to this video. I will be talking PGA Tour golf all year long with previews for every single event. We're in week 2. This is our second video. Let's get right into it. The American Express is an interesting format. It's the only event that's across 3 golf courses, one for each of the first 3 rounds, and then the final round on the Pete Dye Stadium course. The other 2 courses being La Quinta Country Club and Nicklaus Tournament Course. It's in the Coachella Valley of California, and they consider this to be dome golf because there's no wind and it's basically perfect conditions all year long. That doesn't sound too bad to me. We'll expect to see some low scores because of that and because it's a Pro-Am format, so they'll probably have some easier pin locations as well. Let's get into the numbers of this American Express field. We got 156 golfers. That's going to be the biggest field you see all year. Because of the new format and rules in the PGA Tour, you have fields of smaller sizes and bigger purses. That's not the case with this one. We got a full field, 156 golfers, so it means you're going to have a lot of names that you might not see on other bigger events like the signature events that we're going to see in a couple weeks at Pebble Beach and Riviera. Like I mentioned, 3 golf courses across the first 3 rounds, so there's not a cut after 36 holes. The cut will be after 54 on Saturday night. The top 65 golfers and ties will advance to the final round on the Pete Dye Stadium course. 8 of the top 13 players in the world are in the field this week. We are back, baby. We're getting the best golfers in the world. That includes Scottie Scheffler. We'll get into a full field breakdown here in a bit, but going through some more of these numbers, only 8 international players teeing it up. I thought that was an interesting number. Seems pretty low, right? It includes Adam Scott, who's playing this event for the first time, and also Jason Day, who finished T3 here last year. Don't count out the Aussie. Some fun trends for the American Express. Nick Dunlap, he won it a couple years ago. Remember, he was the first amateur to win on the PGA Tour in 33 years. That was one of my favorite memories, honestly, in PGA Tour since COVID, having seen Nick Dunlap go through the amateur ranks, and now he's an established PGA Tour player. He won that event coming out of nowhere, and he became the only player in the last 10 years to win without having played at the Sony Open the previous week. So a fun little nugget. The other 9 guys the last 10 years, they've played at the Sony Open the week prior, almost like it's a good tune-up to get ready for this week. So we're going to keep an eye on that while we get into our picks. Also, over the last 6 years, the average winner odds, 150 to 1. I'll say that again, 150 to 1 odds to win this tournament is the average going back to the last 6 years. That's second on the PGA Tour, only to the Wyndham Championship, which kind of makes sense knowing what the Wyndham Championship is. But yeah, this tournament yields unexpected winners. So we're going to be going deep down the ranks of the field to try and pick out some guys to look out for. In terms of storylines, we're getting more and more guys back on tour, and pretty soon we're going to have everybody playing. But this is just another step in the right direction with 8 of the top 13 golfers. Scottie Scheffler is coming back, and this is his first time playing here since 2024. He was going to start his season here last year, but remember, he cut his hand when he was cutting ravioli with a wine glass. Remember that whole debacle? Yeah, well, his hand is healthy this time around, and it clearly was healthy at the end of last year because he's coming in off 3 wins in his last 5 events. He finished last season inside the top 25 in all 20 of his starts, including a stretch of 15 straight top 10s. And that's why he's a clear favorite at plus 300. The next closest is all the way down to 19 to 1 odds. Another big name coming back that I'm excited for, Will Zalatoris. Remember, he had back surgery last year, cutting his season early after the PGA Championship. He was playing pretty good golf at the start of the season. He got his back fixed, and he's ready to go now. He played in December in a DP World Tour event in South Africa. He finished 15th, so it seems like he is ready to go. We'll see what he can do this week. Let's get into our picks. We have a great field, like we've said. We have 156 guys to choose from, and we have a history of more surprises winning this tournament as opposed to favorites. So because of that, I'm going to stay away from Scottie Scheffler. He's not worth the price to me at 3-1. A couple guys, and randomly, they're all 55-1. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. We got Michael Thorbjornsen to start us off. He's a Cali kid. He just turned 24, so super young, but he was red hot at the second half of last year. He was so due for a win. I thought he would get one during the FedEx Cup fall. He didn't, so I'm going to keep shooting my shot with Thorbjornsen, especially at a price like this one. He's finished no worse than T37 in his last 6 starts, and he's had 7 top 15s since April. So he knows what it's like to be at the top of that leaderboard. 55-1 for him. Also for Ryan Gerard, who was just lights out in the final round at the Sony Open. He shot 5 under on that final day in Hawaii to finish solo second. He won a couple times last year. He just seems to me like he's playing loose, free golf and is in a better spot with his game than he has ever been. I like that I'm getting Ryan Gerard at good value here. It seems to me like he is shaping up to have another win on the PGA Tour. Final one at 55-1, and I can't believe I'm getting this price for a guy that has been arguably the best golfer since October of last year, and I say that on purpose because like Scottie Scheffler and a lot of the other top guys in the world weren't playing, but Alex Noren, he finished 2026 so hot, playing around the world on the DP World Tour. He won a couple tournaments. He finished very high in others. Some other names, real quick to rattle them off. I mentioned Harry Hall. I mentioned Bobby Mack. I also think Davis Riley is going to play another good round of golf. He had the 54-hole lead last week and then didn't have a great Sunday, but I don't think that's going to hold him back. Similar to Ryan Gerard, he's just playing his best golf ever right now. So those are my picks. That's the preview. It's going to be a fun week in California, and then we're going to hang out here in Cali for a while. We got some really good tournaments coming up with a few signature events, but we're getting it all started here at the American Express. Enjoy the golf. Like and subscribe to the video. More PGA Tour coverage coming your way soon. Appreciate you guys for watching. God bless.